Yo, what up, Fight World? Welcome to another episode of Ballroom Boxing, where the Canelo controversy is reaching all new heights and all new levels. So before we get started, of course, I'm going to flash this on the screen before we get started into what we're going to talk about. Now, some of you may have already come across this news, but this is about the clenbuterol situation. The WBC, as you can see from the title, reveals new rules for banned drug clenbuterol. So basically, they're making small amounts of clenbuterol okay to be in your bloodstream, even though it's a banned substance. They're now, you know what I'm saying? They are now extending or raising the cap basically for that. You know what I'm saying? They're raising the standard because it's a banned substance. You shouldn't have any of it in your system. But I'm gonna go ahead and read this article by Dan Raphael and get into a little bit of a discussion about this. But for this is for those of you who have not heard anything about this. Excuse me. Now, mind you, all of the fighters who have been caught with clenbuterol in their systems have been Mexican fighters. There have been no black fighters caught with clenbuterol in their systems at all. They've all been Mexican fighters. Excuse me. And what I want to say right before I get started is, if Mexico has a history of producing meat that has that drug in it, and boxers know this, if I know this and I'm not a fighter, how the fuck do they not know it? And they're the ones getting popped for the shit. That seems like a real convenient way to cheat without actually having to go out and actually purchase the drug yourself. That seems like a real convenient way to cheat and play stupid, is what I'm going to say. Okay, so the string of Mexican boxers testing positive for the banned substance clenbuterol has included superstar Canelo Alvarez, Luis Nery, Francisco Vargas, and, in recent days, Ray Vargas and Julio Cesar Martinez. On Thursday, the WBC announced that it will begin acknowledging the increased allowable threshold for the drug established earlier this year by the World Anti-Doping Association, meaning those fighters' positive tests as conducted by the Voluntary Anti-Doping Association, also known as VADA, in conjunction with the WBC's clean boxing program, would no longer have been considered a failed test because the amount found in their system was so small. Clenbuterol remains so small. In the sentence, clenbuterol remains banned under WADA code, and drug tests found to have an amount that exceeds the new threshold would still count as a failed test and result in punishment. Junior featherweight world titles Vargas and top flyweight contender Martinez both recently tested positive for trace amounts of the drug in a random samples collection. Alvarez had 2 positive tests for clenbuterol in the lead up to his middleweight world title rematch with Gennady Golovkin that was supposed to take place in May 2018. However, because of the test results, Alvarez was suspended for 6 months by the Nevada State Athletic Commission, and the bout was eventually rescheduled for September. But Golovkin was livid over Alvarez's test results and accused him of cheating, which he fucking was cheating. So let's see. Let's skip down. This is a quote by the WBC now accepts that as a reason for the adverse findings in the tests as long as the amount is below the new WADA threshold. Quote, this is a confirmation of the innocence of fighters like Saul Canelo Alvarez and Francisco Vargas, who once were in the middle of controversy when clean boxing program tests performed by VADA found clenbuterol in their examination. So basically, what the WBC is doing is stacking the deck for the fighters that they like. They're giving out fucking franchise belts to fighters that they like so they don't have to fucking fight mandatories. They'll always be a champion. They can never be fucking dethroned. They basically get a get out of jail free card. Now these assholes are making it okay for you to have a banned substance in your fucking system. They're making it okay now to do this. Even if it is small amounts, they're making it okay to do this. Seriously. I mean, how much more fucked up can the WBC be? Seriously. So let's look at this article here. Let's see. There was another article that I had pulled up. Let's see. Because it actually goes into what clenbuterol actually does. And I think the article that I was reading actually does that. Let's see. Junior, all right, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, okay. Let's see. So basically, let's see. Farmers often include the substance in cattle feed because it reduces fat and increases lean muscle mass. For a person who wants to move up in weight and put on muscle without putting on fat, this is how you do it. It makes your body do something that it normally would not do. Usually you would have to consume a lot of carbs and fats and stuff like that and work out to convert that into energy, which would then be turned into muscle if you are on a muscle building workout regimen. That's my layman's way of explaining that to you guys. It makes your body do something that it normally wouldn't do naturally. This is a way of fucking cheating. Now, if you're just in competition, fine. I don't care about that kind of shit. If you're bodybuilding or you're just doing it just so you personally can look good or look ripped and all that shit, do you. But when somebody else's life is on the line, this isn't something that you supposed. This type of shit should not happen. Rest in peace to Rudy Day. He just passed not too long ago after a fight that he was in. This brother was not murdered. He was killed. He was killed. He man. Boxing is a brutal sport. Combat sports are brutal, which is why I give so much respect to fighters. But this shit, basically allowing fighters to cheat, to put on muscle in an unnatural way, and as a way to have an advantage on your fucking opponents. This is fucking bullshit. Because I don't give a fuck how low the numbers are. Any amount of that illegal drug is going to have a fucking effect on your body. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck if it's just a difference of 2 to 3 pounds of fucking muscle. It's going to have an adverse effect on you, which gives you an advantage over your competition. This is a sport where people die in the ring. Again, rest in peace to Rudy Day. This is a sport where people can die in the ring. So, not only is Canelo Alvarez allowed, I'm just going through other sites that have actually had this article. Everlast has had the article. This is WBN. They have the article. And ESPN has the article as well. I'm sure you can find other boxing sources that have this article. But, let me see. Go to images here and see what comes up. Yeah, all the boxers who got fucking caught up in the controversy. So, see, the WBC is on some bullshit. Boxing has lost its edge, and quite frankly, if this is the new face of boxing, if Canelo is the new face of boxing, then fuck boxing. I mean, real talk, fuck boxing. If Canelo is the new face of boxing, fuck boxing. But for me personally, Canelo isn't the face of boxing. Brothers like Deontay Wilder are the fucking face of boxing. 41, 40, 0, and 1. That's the motherfucking face of boxing to me. 41 wins, 40 knockouts, 0 losses, 1 draw. Terrence Crawford, that's the face of boxing. Errol Spence Jr., that's the face of boxing. In fact, any clean fighter out there is the fucking face of boxing. Benavidez, you know what I'm saying? Caleb Plant, Caleb Smith, Jamal Charlo, Demetrius Andrade. I'd even throw Gennady Golovkin on the pile because I don't recall any time where Gennady Golovkin had any fucking samples come up dirty. Regardless of what you think about his career and how his resume was stacked to make it look like he was something that he wasn't, he's still a clean fighter. Much respect to him for that. The WBC is a fucking joke now. It's a joke. You're allowing your favorite fighters to cheat. Basically, and since Mexicans are the only ones that are getting caught up with this clenbuterol shit, and this is an organization that is ran by Mexicans, you are basically making a way for Mexican fighters to be able to cheat. Because what you're telling the world is they can't compete with their own natural gifts and abilities. So they are being allowed to cheat. That's the message that I'm getting from this. That's the message that I'm getting from this. Fucking franchise belts to fighters who don't deserve them. But like Deontay Wilder says so elegantly, why would I want a franchise belt to get me out of fighting my this is a paraphrase version, to keep me from fighting my mandatories? I want to fight my mandatories. How else do you find out who the best is? You know what I'm saying? If you don't fight those hungry dudes that work their way to get to that point. They work their way up the ranks to get to that point. and you're just gonna pull a rug right out from under them. The WBC is a joke. Let me reframe. Let me restate. Boxing isn't a joke. What the WBC is doing with boxing is a joke. To quote the homie Fonte from the group Little Brother, Tigolo, Fonte, whatever you want to call him, he had a lyric in a song and it went like this: I love hip hop. I just hate the people in it. And that's how I feel about boxing. I love fucking boxing. I just hate the motherfuckers in it. And that's where I stand with boxing. I love boxing. I just fucking hate the sanctioning bodies that run it. I love fucking boxing. I just hate the biased ass commentary that talks about it. You dig what I'm saying? That's where I'm coming from with this shit. You're allowing motherfuckers free passes through the ranks of boxing. You're allowing motherfuckers to cheat. You're allowing them to do whatever the fuck they want. Man, I don't understand why this is going on. Never mind, I do understand why it's going on. I do understand why it's going on. It's kind of like the Collegegate scandal. You know what I'm saying? In order to maintain this false ass air of supremacy, I would say this false ass air of supremacy, you'll cheat behind the scenes that make it look as though you are still on the top of the pile. If you guys don't know about the Collegegate scandal, look it up. Look it up. You're claiming that you're better than, but all the while you know that you and others are stacking the deck against other people and in your favor, allowing you to cheat. And because you're so arrogant in what you're doing and you don't believe that you'll ever get caught up, you start to believe the lie yourself. Listen, Canelo is 50% skill, talent, ability, and then 50% hype. The WBC and what they're doing is making a mockery of boxing. They should be considered a fucking laughingstock after this. And nobody should take them seriously. If you are a Mexican fighter, and we all know now that the farmers in Mexico use clenbuterol to grow bigger cows and get more muscle mass out of them, which is what you eat. A steak is a cow's muscle, basically. That's what you're eating, for the most part, right? If we all know this, why the fuck are Mexican fighters still going to fucking Mexico eating the fucking meat? If we know this, why the fuck are you still going there eating the meat? But anyway, I didn't want to make this video too long. I just wanted to put that information out there. You know, I just wanted to let you guys know what was going on and what the deal is with this whole clenbuterol situation in the WBC. But these motherfuckers are destroying their own credibility. They're trying to ruin boxing for the sake of one fucking fighter, which I don't fucking understand. Why make a mockery of your whole organization for one motherfucking fighter? For one fighter, you're going to make a mockery of your whole organization. Because if Canelo wasn't on that pile, they would have never did this with clenbuterol. Those other boxers would just be fucked. They wouldn't get a pass if it wasn't for Canelo. Canelo was a moneymaker. I get that. But he's got what, maybe 5 years left in boxing? The way they fucking, in fact, now that he's a franchise champion, he could probably box for another 20 years because he never has to fight any challenges. He never actually had to take a serious fight now. Ever has to take a serious fight. He could stack the deck for the next 20 years. You know what I'm saying? What the WBC is doing now is basically, this is a parody of boxing now. This isn't actual boxing. The WBC is making such a mockery of boxing that they are now a boxing parody. That's what the fuck they are now. It's sad, but leave it in the comment section. Like, subscribe, do whatever you're going to do, man. But let me know what you think about this. What do you think about the WBC and all these new janky ass little rules that they're coming out with? All the little crazy shit you're doing with all these belts and shit. In fact, let me show you something real quick. Let me show y'all something real quick before we go. Show y'all something real quick. Title is where I go shop at to get all my stuff. All my stuff, man. All everything, man. Let's see. Let's see. Belts. This is how easy it is to fucking get a belt. This is how easy it is. You understand? This is how fucking easy it is. So the WBC making franchise belts and coming up with franchise belts to signify this, that, and the third. This is how fucking easy it is, man. This is how easy it is. You can go on to Title fucking Boxing and you can fucking purchase a belt for $20 fucking dollars. $20. You can get a 12-pack of these motherfuckers if you want. $20. You understand what I'm saying? The WBC isn't doing anything special with this bullshit they on, man. And that's all I got to say about this. I'm out. Peace.